I mean, honestly, one of the more frustrating things with some Lumix cameras is that, some Lumix cameras have features that others don't, especially with the new phase of cameras starting with the S5 II. Then the rapid release of cameras since then, feature some basic settings that maybe the S9 has that the S5 II doesn't have. Now, I'm definitely not talking about like features like ProRes RAW recording or, some of the HQ settings. Those are definitely pro features that don't necessarily need to be in the S9, but I'm talking things like basic settings that just don't line up from camera to camera. So those were just some frustrations that I had until now. So this firmware update unifies the whole new phase of Lumix cameras. So now you have the same base settings on the S5 II, S5 IIX, GH7, G9ii, and the S9, and most likely any new camera that comes in this new phase. If you don't know how to update the firmware on your Lumix camera, make sure you check out the video that's popping up on the top of the screen right now. And here's what you need to know about the latest firmware update. First setting that you're gonna notice that's gonna be the same for all the different cameras in this new phase is the frame marker, and you're gonna be able to set 3 frame markers. Now this originally came out in an S9 update, but now you have the ability to do it on all of the cameras, the G9 II, S5 IIX, S5 II, and the GH7. So you can set the different frame markers so that you can outline where you want to, have your frame on the screen. Next thing you're gonna find is some enhanced detecting subject options that come to the S5 II, S5 IIX, like train and airplane. So airplane, you can pick either the nose priority or airframe priority, same with the train, the main part, or the first car of the train. Having these different options cohesive through all the cameras is definitely a plus. One of the features I've used all the time on the S9, but now is available throughout all the Lumix cameras of this new phase system, is the MP4 light shoot setting. Now I use it all the time on the S9 for quick content, and combined with the real-time LUT, you can really get quick, easy social media content out. But the MP4 light shoot setting is now available throughout all these new phase cameras. It's also worth noting that throughout all of these cameras now, you also have the crop zoom and hybrid zoom options that were available first on the S9. And so these are gonna be great if you need to extend the reach of your lens. Now I did already mention the Lumix Lab app, but you do have more features with the Lumix Lab app, like remote shooting, shutter remote control, transferring images on these new cameras. So everything that was in the Lumix Sync app is now in the Lumix Lab app with this new phase of cameras. All right, let me know down in the comments what you think about this whole unification firmware update. Is that something that you're excited about? Do you have multiple Lumix cameras that you would find something like this helpful? Now, some of those professional settings still vary from camera to camera, but having these base settings unified, all the same, throughout all of these different cameras, personally, I find that super beneficial, and I think it's gonna ease workflow moving from camera to camera. I've got the firmware update link in the description, so whatever camera you have, go and update the firmware. I think you're really gonna like it.